So for the cliff notes, of course, very tight veto, lots of head-to-head. Alexi B looking forward to this match, and an interesting first map pick of Mirage instead of Overpass, where G2 have shown some flaws. Let's figure out why OG wanted to take this to Mirage on map 1.
Let's. Amanek, he's got that utility. Nexa with the kit and frag as well. And we have OG heading real quick towards this B bomb site. They get the first grenade out of Nexa, does 0 damage. OG really just coming to an absolute halt here in Apps.
No information whatsoever here for OG, but they're going to go for the explode right now.
Ooh, nice second nade. Amanek had that pin pulled the entire time, just waiting for the perfect moment. NBK opens up. Amanek can't quite manage the headshot. It's NBK with the 3-piece before going down, and Hunter's gushed before he can even get out from Marketplace. So this does not bode well for G2. The timing on that frag grenade is probably the biggest success story of the first round here for the CT side. Let's see if Matu can close it. Glock up from, the back of bench, but Jax slips right in with a USB shot between the eyes. Valda able to answer. Hunter trying his damnedest, and a single point of health is what kept that away from the 1v1. OG taking pistol.
A great round from MBK, of course, who's just revisit these entries that he grabbed, the backside player. Yeah, the third one. I mean, he had no business getting that on Kenny S after the double peak came out. And MBK, he's averaging in the last 4 or so matches between 17 and 19 kills, something like that, on Mirage. And his form is actually spiked up a little bit. Everyone else has consistently risen slightly, and his has kind of taken a big step up. His last match, he had a really, really strong performance, I believe, versus Big. And so good to see MBK fragging out. Jax looking for a peek. He is so quick about it. He does some damage to Issa and drops out of there faster than you can blink, and it looks like he'll think about revisiting a peak as OG set up for one of their A takes. And again, I think it was their A takes that had the biggest problems in their last important match.
Jack's thinking about maybe going for second servings. Remember, Issa is compromised at 54 HP, and if he dies, that Galil Palace could be massive. But Mantu, he gets it going, and that forces the feed of Jax forward. Issa on high alert at that moment, knowing it's likely someone pushes. And of course, it's the perfect A play, but obviously not quite tested versus just those Deagles. Ooh, NBK just running right back into Nexa. He denies any kind of a kill, but Amanek will at least find one.
If G2 lose this map, their confidence will be shocked. I mean, will be shook, excuse me. I know they're looking forward to playing Mirage. I'm sure they were happy to see it in the veto, so this would really rock them. Now, I would say one thing we're going to see a lot on this T side is Alexi B in 4-1s lurking middle, and it's not an uncommon thing to do, but a thing is that it can be very easily exploited. If you have a Opera-Go connector to check the cross, if you have a 3-mid setup to catch him, there's a number of rounds where Alexi B will just be able to be killed by himself, untradeable at top middle, and that can really throw the round awry. So I'm not sure if it's going to be part of G2's game plan to approach middle in this way, but I feel like that is kind of the weakest part about OG's Mirage.
Okay, we'll have to keep an eye on him then. Alexi to the top of mid, potentially the first piece to unravel. But there's nobody alone this time for OG. They're just going to go right back to this A play. You know, you talked about how maybe they struggled with it in their last matchup. Hell, going to make it easy versus just the pistols. Get it while you can. Get it while it's hot. Molotov to the bottom of Palace. There's Jax with the D. Kenny S now up close with the P250. That could have bode well, but he is killed in the end. Nexa up next. Back by Ticket. There's a fast flank coming in from G2. That's the CZ and Deagle between Amanek and Hunter. But we saw last round, OG, once they had taken this bomb site by storm, very quickly turning their attention to their own flank and making sure nobody fell to the wayside. They've done a really good job of just keeping numbers up thus far. Valda is going to go into Palace, is susceptible to Hunter here, making footsteps. There's the push. There's the peak. Even further damage. NBK is down. There's 50 seconds and the bomb's not yet been planted. G2 finding the absolute best moment of contact, and it's not towards ramp. It was inside of Palace. that this starts to unravel. Now they try to slow it down.
They're going to push
30 seconds.
Yeah,
They've got
they
the
probably
time.
will. Yeah, I think they're going to, because they have a Palace player. There's no way to deal with them. They don't have the nades. So this is a free round. This is interesting because Nexa, I don't know, he might clue into this. It'd be a real read, of course, but yeah, I think they're pretty safe now. They can potentially start running, get the bomb down, and then this will be too difficult of a round to retake. And Hunter, he's in a spot where he just does not want to peek Palace. So it's a good play by OG, but why did they take so long to plant the bomb in the first place? They had so many players up. Yes, they caught a timing on the flank in Palace, but at that point the bomb should have been halfway gone at that already. They really struggle with the communication of just like, put the bomb down, I'm going to watch this for you, and then win the round. So not good signs to see that happen in this round.
Okay, well, G2 going to try and throw it at the wall and hope it sticks. Alexi still back by bench, gets the first one. Hunter can trade this. There is time for the defuse, but he needs it now. And Issa just playing the clock. Smooth moves as he attempts to get the exit. Will pepper down Hunter, but not only does he get himself 2 kills this round, leaves with the AK and racks up some costs. That's good because OG had gotten through the second round so easily that the third one comes with a price tag. OG 3-0 the start, but you are right. A little delayed bomb plant. Good thing that OG were quick on the call to rotate outwards and exit towards that B site. Nexa, he had gone through B first, had alleviated that pressure, and they found the opening and took it. But now we're into the gun rounds, and we have an immediate double op setup for G2.
Of course, it doesn't take an expert analyst to tell you that, you need to have a smoke down to plant the bomb on A site. So we're going to make sure that they're quick enough. Alexi B, Molotov gets dropped in an awkward spot, and he gets heard running through it a little bit, but that's a great shot.
Yeah, well, the moment that window smoke came out from OG, we saw G2 go into that ladder room boost. Already nets them the opening kill. Amanek turning his attention towards apartments, hits the shot, but Valda's still standing. The follow-up bullets also well. Amanek doing a great job in terms of damage. He's gotten himself 2 frags plus the assist onto NBK. In the middle of all of this, Alexi B has found timing through middle, and he should catch Kenny S off. That's 1 frag back the other way, but still a 1v3 to play. And where's he go from this? Smoke buys him a little bit of time, but Nexa's back by Van. And that means it's going to be very difficult to ever play through the smoke. He will output a bit more damage, but he takes some in return. 35 seconds, no bomb, and the flank connects. That's the end of that.
It was a bit of a stretch, of course, but Alexi's going to give it his best shot as a lurker. This is what he plans to do in a lot of these rounds. Now, I do think the most key position is on this map for the CT side when there are a lot of B hits is of course something to have a player inside of ladder. Anything to do with mid or B, a player inside of ladder can stop the window lurk, can cut off cat, can be a fast retake position to be in, and putting Almanac in there with an op is probably quite unexpected. So I like this adjustment from G2. I'd like to see as much ladder usage as possible for holding on. But yeah, OG overall, the execute was a tiny bit messy, just some noise being made at the bottom of mid. The initial entry is not working out outside the B halls, but we're going to see probably a lot of B hits in this half. I don't think the game plan will change all that much.
Couple of Mac 10s for this one, so maybe the tempo gets cranked. Still, 2 snipers. Definitely worth it in the end. I mean, Kenny wasn't really ever in a position last round, but good thing Amanek had one because that was huge. Tons of damage output coming in from ladders/catwalk. It is going to be another B hit. You are spot on, as was that frag grenade. Smoke over the top from OG. They're starting to pressure the window. They don't get past the opper for free, but they will find Nexa. Amanek kind of relegated back here, has to dodge the utility, and now technically he's out of the equation, but Hunter is added in. 3 kills coming out of Marketplace. Yes, Issa will trade, but it's too late already. Wasting no time coming out of Market like that. Hunter, absolutely phenomenal 3-piece, gives G2 their second round.
pretty unbelievable by Hunter, but at the same time, it's what we expect these days. He probably has one of the highest multi-frag kill statistics on rounds like this versus armored opponents. He is so great at finding these openings, and I think for OG, it's another round where they delay too much to get the bomb down. They don't get empty pillar control, which is everything. They don't have anybody beside the window, which cuts off rotates. These are the players that are supposed to kill Hunter and punish people for rotating in, but they seem to be frozen in place a little bit when they're getting onto the sites, which is not a promising sign. Oh. Wow. I like that G2 like just don't move at all really here. They just chill. Don't overreact.
Careful, Kenny.
I feel like they can smell a fake right now.
Sure. It is just Issa pumping his chest.
I think, yeah, Hunter, I believe, just heard him running through spawn.
Okay. Hunter starts to peel back up connector. Amanek at bat. Oh, there's a lot of players ready for the peak. He gets the first shot in. Frag grenade could follow up. Softens up too. He's just running, just trying to flee the situation. Nexa, he's the man in a just precarious position. So many peaks coming out of OG. However, man advantage still held on to despite not having guns. Issa's able to connect another to the head of Hunter. Kenny S closes the gap, CZ in hand, catching Alexi and being dropped down to 12 health. It's him versus Valda. He taps the bomb once, the peak's on the other side, and Kenny, surprise, surprise, gets that final kill. Welcome to the scoreboard, Kenny S. 3 swift kills.
That was wicked sick to watch. He's so quick with it, man. Kenny's so good in the clutch. He's very underrated as a clutch player, so looked at as just an opper, you know, the guy who wins the opening duel, but he is so smart about the way he plays these 1v2s. He had tags on all 3 players, came up cat, great target selection to get the first kill, punished the second guy jumping through the smoke, and then I think avoided a few probably easy shots from Skadoodle, and then ended up winning that 1v1, but still a great round by him. I think OG, they took too long to sell that fake. I don't know why they needed Issa to walk all the way back to be before they exact.
Already on the cusp of this A site. Just walking in. This has not been telegraphed whatsoever. Kenny S will answer, but only with the 1. 2 T's back behind triple stack. Molly goes over, so now adding a bit of discomfort to Kenny's position, but it's also burning out the bomb planter. Alexi down to 2 HP, but at least he got the plant. He wanted it. We've seen OG kind of fumble bomb and their opening chances. Let's see if Kenny can draw this one back into the realm of possibility. He confirms that there's at least 1 player back by Tetris, and he still wants his head. Alexi barely alive, but there's no utility other than the molly and flashes of Issa. Kenny will kill him, then Valda from that bomb site within his own teammates' flashes. Sure, he eats one, but it works out. Issa blinding 2 of the 3 CTs and pushing Amanek back to his spawn where NBK shall catch him. OG back on the board. That silent walk-up on the A site, Launders, it's enough to break the economy of G2 and take the lead.
It's obviously become a lot more common for teams to just play ultra passive CT setups. I'm not huge on it personally. I think others have different opinions, but I think OG are especially good at exploiting your weaknesses when you do that. The only issue is, of course, when you give out that much map control and then the T's take mid, which, to be fair to G2, OG haven't done too much of this game, so it was maybe unexpected they came up connected that fast. But when they do, and they know no one's in window, no one's in cat, no one's peeking connector, and they know you're in a full passive setup, they suddenly know most of your spots. And I think that's what OG are really good about dealing with. So good to see a little bit more mid control in general into OG's game plan, as there's just been these, you see how this like the strange combination of like full on site hits and then suddenly a default. And sure, I think that's good. It makes it very hard to read, but some of their executions have not been the greatest.
Jax falls for free. Second pickup of the 8th round. Alexi's within 3 CTs, so that's his SMG offered over. And it will give connector control to G2 if they want to try and hold anything off at the A site. But the frag grenade goes deep, and it goes well. Substantial damage coming off of Issa. His utility's looking really good today. On top of his Deegs that we've seen nearly rob away rounds, but with that bomb plant and the 4v1 we're left over with, this is very clearly a 5-3 lead for OG on their T side.
One thing I noticed as well is I think on a couple of times Alexi B has gone mid, there's been one he was by himself, but another one where he had a teammate kind of come with him, maybe to make him more tradable if G2 try to get in his face a bit more. And I think now this is a round where G2 might consider the thought of either jumping cat to try to punish any kind of mid default, or to go for a 3 mid rifle setup and see if they can get in their face a little bit more. That being said, I'm sure it's the back of their head because OG have been have added a lot of variety to their T side, whether it's A hits, B hits, that maybe it's going to be another B hit coming. But the great part about mid control on CT side, as scary as it is, if they don't go mid, you have very great retake positions. You know, you have 3 players in the middle of the map, localized, ready to make a 2-second rotation to either A or B. So there's a lot of value to do that, even if it is going to be a full side hit. But of course, you don't really want to be retaking B as much as A. So we'll see if that affects their setup at all.
So as we hit the small tech issue, and we see the economy of G2 not yet rebounding, are there any improvements that need to be seen from either team that are jumping off of the page at you yet, Mohan?
Yeah, like OG, it seems like getting the bomb down is a big problem for them. They managed it in that one round they walked through CT to B, but to get the bomb down faster, I think is a big thing, because we, again, have this situation where you've got ephemeral cover on the A site. With your smokes, you've got that 15-second window to plant. Once that window is gone, it becomes harder to plant because you have to have someone cover a spot, and then suddenly that person is now vulnerable. And OG seem to be delaying for almost no reason. So I haven't seen G2 put so much pressure on them that it's making it impossible to get the bomb down. It's not like repeated Molotovs. So I think it's OG beating themselves a little bit with the communication. So their A stuff, I think, needs to be worked out a bit better.
Sure. Do we chalk up that 1A round where Alexi goes from 100 health to 2 HP, committing to the bomb plant in the Molotov? Like, is that a result of having already had some awkward near misses?
Yeah, that's a definite improvement. I mean, the guy who puts the bomb down, he's got a target on his back, right? Like, everyone hears it. They're all going to be, there's nades designed to punish him for planting, but you have to put the bomb down. Like, you have to put it down when CT is smoked, or when, you know, front side triple is smoke, or you get 2 kills and you know no one's rotating yet, something like that. But don't wait long enough for everyone to get in their favorite post plant positions and then try to plant and then have them all exploit on you while one person has his hands busy punching in the bomb code. So we're gonna have go ahead. No, I was just confirming what you had said. But we're gonna have a pistol round here. Let's see if G2 can do anything tricky. Been quite successful, as we saw on some of their A holds. So it looks like they're stacking up that side of the map. But OG don't have anybody lurking at the A ramp or palace. Oh my God, look at that. It's like 9 flashbangs thrown out immediately from OG. It's like fireworks at the top of middle, and that's going to call the attention of G2 back towards it. Alexi just getting into position in time, wasting no time, in fact. Amanek trying his damnedest with the Deagle to do damage, but he doesn't. And for that reason, OG will take a 6th round. 0 casualties versus OG as they circumvent that pistol stack. G2, I mean, I'm sure they were frothing at the mouth, hoping somebody was going to try and challenge on ramp. The only real anomaly here is going to be Alexi B at the top of mid, but he's tucked, patiently waiting for Hunter to walk into this. NBK can call the attention, and that's a 2-man hit squad for what remains of the pistol players. Jax back by Market, also being kept in check by Mantu, so it's not like he's going to cheat out and steal away the defuse. Nobody should be coming his way. A 6-3 lead for OG. As messy as OG looked, it's really hard to call against, right? If you're on the CT side, how do you even know what OG are going to do next round? I don't know how I would be able to figure that out. So if I was G2, I'd probably be thinking of trying to take on some aggressive option to get information early, and take a small risk like that. So it looks like they're going to go for a double op setup. which means I don't think they'll try anything funny with a super aggressive setup, but who knows? Now, if Almanac is going to be peeking into B apps, that is a question that I'm curious about. But it looks like a kind of full A setup and Alexi be lurking out mid one more time. No one here to challenge him. Oh, wow. Oh my god, Hunter just missed him. Oh my god.
That's brutal. And Jax, he's just waiting and waiting, and now he has to make his play. Revealed by the frag onto Valda. Here comes Hunter off of the flash. Jax back at bat with 2 headshots to close. A landmine in between the stairs and Tetris. Jax swinging out when needed. But I mean, obviously set up by Nexa's stair peek too. That's just a G2 casting their net and catching a hell of a lot here on this A site. Everybody trying to find entry, but not comfortable from OG at all. You talked about the transition between the full-blown execute and then the more basic default, that kind of back and forth pacing from OG. That one was quick, and it certainly didn't stick.
That was supposed to be a wrap. No, the triple player dead for free. Alexi should have got Hunter as well at top stairs. And to be fair to Hunter, he did catch very lucky timing to not see him. But after that point, your sandwich player is not supposed to get 3 kills. That's supposed to be a very easy player to trade. They couldn't do it, so GT reaped the rewards. Back into a very similar setup for them. And yeah, it's super standard for the CTs. Not doing anything kind of atypical, just floating, covering connector a little bit, letting Hunter work, and Hunter will be successful.
Yeah, drops a molly for underpass, tries to peek out just with the shoulder. Sees that there's a couple players to the top of middle, so heavy presence from OG in mid. There is this one lurker in Issa by ramp. He's going to have a little bit of a duel here versus Jax, but he leaves, making a lot of sound. That's absolutely confirmed by Jax. Now, does Jax just hold his position? Or does he try and follow suit on flank? Oh, Nexa, he gets aggressive inside of the apartments, and that does give him 1 and a bit of information. Valda is there with bomb. So now we see that immediate rotate coming out of G2. 25 seconds on the clock. Aminek's going to fixate his attention towards Catwalk, and that's where the Opper peeked in. Nice shot from Mantu. He takes a dink back the other way and still manages to get us into the 3 versus 3. But the longer that OG waits, the closer Jax gets on this flank. And Kenny S, he's got some open lines of sight towards the bomb site itself. 6 seconds. Now they have to punch it in. It will go down. It leaves Mantu in the post plant, but remember, dinked early. And Jax's flank now made aware to OG. There's nowhere to run. Total discomfort on that B bomb site. G2 will retake for a 5th round on the board.
Really hate how they're taking so long to get the bomb down. I don't think it has a huge effect on this round, but yeah, it's there. It feels like it's like, why are they delaying so much? Maybe they've had some struggles in scrims where they've put the bomb down too early, and then they're kind of a wounded animal. Like, they're just scared to do that because they've been punished before. But here it feels like G2 are just getting into better spots because of it over and over again. Now, that could have been a round 1 for G2. It was a great shot from Mantu into the back of B. But overall, this kind of very standard setup for G2 is working out quite nicely for these past 2 rounds. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot changing for them. Just kind of give Hunter the keys and let him work on CT side. He's got no one to help him out around connector, but he doesn't seem to need it.
Okay, opening pick quite quickly. This is another one of those clashes at middle, but also pressure from apartments in Valda. Oh, he goes off of the utility. Trajectory tells him where Nexa's at, and Valda wastes no time. Suddenly, Amanek is in a pinch. Catwalk is already taken control of by OG. Kenny comes hopping into the open. Mantu and Alexi with a kill apiece, one of which through smoke of all things, and that's going to divert bomb back towards A. It really did seem like Amanek was in such a pressured situation. I'm sure he was kind of calling the panic, and that's why Kenny S was coming over so quickly. But then we see OG capitalize on catching rotations. Amanek, the boy who cried wolf, unfortunately, opened things up for OG to head the other way. And that's how they're going to get that 7th round. 4 survivors perhaps, and maybe Amanek hangs on to this op if nobody comes hunting.
Didn't actually see how Hunter died. Do you remember by any chance?
It was through a smoke. I saw that much. And I see a death in the middle of A bomb site.
Okay, yeah, so it might have been him at the top of connector getting kind of spammed down. Yeah, they caught 2 on the lurk, basically, Hunter and 1 player on the B side at the same time, and that just makes things sketchy. So a very successful default for OG. Don't want to read too much into it. I don't think there's anything particularly wrong about the way G2 played it. They just got caught off at 2 different, prongs in a sense, where it would have been a much more doable situation to come back into if they had only lost 1 or just traded 1-1. So, but ultimately, there's a big effect on the economies. Just pistols, no armor here for G2, as they're down to their bottom dollar.
Oof. Falda takes a frag to the face, but not nearly as much damage of that versus Jax and Nexa. They have nowhere to run either. They're just stuck on stairs. Oh no. Molotov to the feet of Kenny. See you later, sucker. Back into this nice, slow default. OG not feeling the pressure of the moment. It does very much feel to me like they're in control of the game, obviously with the 2-round lead, but also just, if ever I see kind of panic blanketing either side of this matchup, it's more so G2 getting caught in transition, getting called out in certain positions. If anything, OG are too calm, not planting fast enough, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So really, they're really hard to read. It looks very frustrating to play against, and OG, it's scrappy. They can have a good round on A and still, Jax can 3K from Sandwich, going up against G2. They'll lose rounds like that, but they also, game plan wise, look kind of very complicated and again, hard to figure out. So another clean round for OG as they take over the A site. Put the bomb down here in a few seconds, and MBK puts up another couple of kills. Let's get an update on the scoreboard without looking, Connor. Who's top fragging?
I don't know. Sorry.
I will wait until you guess.
NBK.
Hunter.
Oh.
MBK close. 11 and 8.
Oh.
Wow, a lot of frags.
Good for him.
Issa, Alexi, and MBK all have 11 kills. Hunter at 12.
I was going to say Issa would have been another potential choice. I think he's been doing a really good job of being that one-man show towards ramp at times. Look at him go. Unstoppable. Down go the pistol players. OG up by 3. This T side paying off so far. And of course, unfortunately for G2, still stuck with no money.
Call the strat.
Call the strat for the T side. It's going to be a 3-man cat to B split with 1 guy apps. Almost.
Oh, so close.
Vice versa. It's actually a bomb carrier throws flash lurks mid type moment.
You actually lose points for showing homework, but if you just said B, you might have been correct and got full points. So at least you're honest about it. I appreciate that.
Sure. Never show your maths. And if your teacher ever tells you you have to show you work, you tell them to figure it out.
Okay. A lot of attitude toward the teacher. You got a problem with authority or something?
Yeah, a little bit.
No push coming down the halls at Montu. He's going to be waiting here, looking for that late Nexa walkthrough, but it's not coming. I imagine they are going to hold this for a little bit, but they don't have any info at B. And we talked about those fast mid rotates since they have mid control. They've got 2 in position at B and 2 fast rotate over to B as well.
Hunter's getting curious, though, to the top of middle, so this could get a player in position. I wonder if we see fast rotates. We've seen that actually cost G2, but the market smoke nullifies Amanek. He's going to have to take a calculated risk. Runs out from the smoke. Here's Nexa, very close. Plucks one from the sky and Valda, trying to switch weapons as the FAMAS goes dry. It's NBK and Issa to trade this back, and we're left in the 3v3. Now here's that scramble. G2, player up cat. One trying to attack from the back. Mantu's attention called in 2 directions, and he's successful in catching one of which. But Hunter gets the best of him, and it all falls on Issa. 14 kills to his name, and that is where he stays. He is nothing but a stain on bench now. G2, 6th round on the board, and 1 more to go.
Nice idea for G2. It's a lot of gambles that go on, but for them to go for the mid control, be very confident about what's going on, and be in a great hold from Nexa. Alexi B is always first out the window. He calls that out. Doesn't need a flash as well, which is key. And then, yeah, the execute overall was quite good. They answered back with 2 trades right away. They smoked everything. If you notice, they smoked both sides of Get Right. They smoked window and door. They smoked everything.
This time, they're just going to try and stampede out from top mid. Works successfully in catching Kenny S. Amanek getting his hands back on the op. But there's a second frag. OG just looking to express attack into the A site. Amanek now fading back through Molotovs. Nexa's going to have to do something, but he's already being attacked by Alexi. Had Valda not gotten the frag. And oh no, there's going to be a knife. Alexi B. Ready to do it dirty. Come on, man. 4v1, 15th round. No reason for Amanek to save. Stab him.
Oh, there it is.
Stiletto to the spine to close with 9. OG with a lead at the end of the first half. Join us after the break to see who closes Mirage.
OG in trouble.
We hold each other high, but we fall 1,000 times. But I never say goodbye or ever leave this stuff behind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have it another way. There's no other way. When it hurts like this. When it hurts like this.
Oh my god, but that would be bye-bye mouse sports, and this isn't just, well, this isn't just pride or money on offer. There's a lot of points, man, too now.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin and the moss soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero's deep on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting, haunting. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me haunting,
A first half that justifies taking Mirage when Overpass was wide open. I see why OG wanted to take the series here, and I see that OG did their warm-up today. 4 of their 5 players above 10 kills, everybody's putting in work, and the game plan looks good. Let's see if G2 can swap to the offense and take back control, take back a lead perhaps, with the momentum from the start of this second half. It's going to be a B hit. That much is inevitable. But it's also potentially going to be a B hold. There's a lot of bodies here for OG, a lot of grenades even. We see that presence shown. already making contact. Frags go out, bodies come in, and it is Amanek and Kenny S sent packing. No damage, barely back until now. NBK, sure, he'll take damage, but that is a clinical execution.
That was exquisite. I mean, they just had all the traps set in place. We saw eyes on Alexi B holding that grenade to throw over into the window. MBK on the jump spot. They had all the info. They had the perfect players set up. The nades definitely made that easier. And, of course, the headshots to boot. But G2 really stood no chance of getting in, you know, provided it an insta headshot every single player that was sitting there waiting for him. Yeah, it's
Did somebody order Glocks?
Yeah, should be just a mow down round. It is just such a confident pick for OG to go, you know, Mirage against G2, and it's kind of cool to see how they're making this map look like, you know, they're kind of almost different, like really, really hard to read.
Ooh, it's another slaughter. Another frag fiesta, as to be expected. Kobe. Almost. Mantu will finish Nexa with the sidearm. Alexi's FAMAS comes in. That's back-to-back rounds with no deaths for OG.
Yeah, you know, they're probably regretting buying all these FAMASes, though. G2, they kind of... They didn't get a bomb down, so I think OG were expecting them to just force up to try to good plant, but they went for the full Glock save into a buy now. But that leaves OG not making as much money as they could have on that round, and with 4 FAMASes to go up against 5 AKs.
Let's see if it comes back to haunt them. Whether OG's current form can keep those FAMAS crisp. Nice flash. Gets the head of Amanek turned as Valda swings for the fences and hits himself a home run. I don't think he's done. Not just yet. Lining up damage through the side of the smoke. Alexi's trying to alleviate some pressure here. We need to get Valda out of this spot if OG want to keep that flawless round count going. Ooh, Nexa has found better of timing. We've got the back of Mantu turned, but the catwalk player, he's got that angle. Sub 50 HP basically for the 3 remaining Ts. Make that 2. The FAMAS doesn't come back to haunt you if nobody dies in the end.
And if the M4 gets every kill.
Sure. Okay, yeah, valid point. Taking a shot
Valda.
back on that kill feed. Valda on for the ace. And I mean, he's playing top stairs. That could be a wide swing for the 5. Come on. Damn you, Valda, and your textbook patience.
They'll flash for him, don't worry.
But you know Issa's hungry for it. There it is. He gets at least one more confirmed. Has a teammate in connector as well, so he should just be able to keep his eyes set forward. There's the fit. Headshots for Valda.
Daddy.
You're right. FAMAS not a problem when the M4 feeds.
That was a beautiful round from Valda for more than just the kills. He had perfect trust in his teammates. Here in Underpass, he trusted himself. He stood around, waited for this fight, and didn't get caught falling back. And then when he came out to mid, threw his own smoke for himself to hold on to information. This is why he knew they were going to go back to A, because he didn't just run away from the problem. He faced it head on, and he trusted his teammates to cover his back at mid. And then, you know, that beautiful last shot to top it off, the cherry on top. Very nicely done from Valda.
20 in a draw today. Maybe. The 2 times that these teams have met on Mirage, Alexi had 30 kills in the loss and 10 kills in the win. So what you're telling me is Alexi needs to stop fragging out, or, as Elliot predicts here, the 20 kills for Alexi. He's 3 off. Tied for the top frag with Valda after that ace. Valda just skyrocketing up the scoreboard with that last round.
And they upgrade a couple of their FAMASes for free of charge. This is 3 rounds in a row where they've had 5 alive.
And now, as you said, taking away those freebie weaponry, so this is a strong economy game early for OG with double the round count of G2. I mean, if everything is falling into place, this is what it looks like. A perfect CT side perhaps to close things and really cement an argument for OG's Mirage pick. But here's Issa, just versus the pistol players. Nice rifle control. 3 frags for him as Valda sweeps away the 4th, and Alexi takes to the top rope to deny G2 anything.
4 rounds in a row with 5 alive. Got ace from Valda on that 1 rifle, pistoling rounds. to sandwich that one in.
Ooh.
And just quick cleanups. And yeah, this half is already getting out of hand. Crazy good performance so far from OG, of course.
Up. The boost to the ladder. Two of those FAMAs still in play. Could replace them with AKs if this round also goes well. G2's second full buy round of this second half. How quickly we've gone from 6-9 to 6-13.
I'm kind of surprised they don't even have more money than this, not having to rebuy a single rifle. I guess that's the only issue with not buying those SMGs, but it's still working out quite well. Oh, it's all about kind of Valda again here up in the ladder room.
G2 finding the open road to that A bomb site. Weird situation here with OG4 on B.
I don't mind OG here. I mean, it's going to be a full retake, but because they have the push from Issa and Halls.
Sure.
I think the only thing is, yeah, they're going to get the message a little bit late. Oh no, are they saving? Oh wow, yeah. That's kind of interesting. This is not a mini map you see every day. There are 5 players inside a jungle. Whoa, what is going on?
Maybe trying to serve up some exits. Go get spawn control, play for top mid. G2 are going to have to go somewhere. They've already got Palace in their back pocket and Alexi B towards spawn. But thing is, G2 could also just not move.
I guess they're expecting the A ramp. Everyone's saving through mid. Very weird. That was a very weird round.
Very
oh my
weird.
Gosh.
Yeah. I don't like it. I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, it was almost. I guess if they had any information whatsoever that it was going to be an A take, they could have gotten to positions better with Issa in a great spot at the back of halls. But yeah, G2 circumventing the operation, going through mid into connector, worked out well. Don't know if they could do that again, but I'd love to see them try.
I feel like G2 have as many rounds in this second half as they have kills. 1.
Yeah.
But hey, you take what you can get. Found that connector for free. OG gonna have to change up something. Can't let that slide twice.
Well, they're gonna commit for this full A hit into 3 players, and OG seem like they're getting more and more dedicated as the seconds roll on. Close A ramp is what you do versus big executes like this.
Yep. The procedure is in place. 2 players in position. They're going to go get aggressive, and it works out fantastically. Each of those players taking a headshot for their name. And G2 never even able to barrel into this execute that we saw them setting up. Awkward.
Don't know where the information was there for Alexi B. I don't know if that's like a demo push in the sense that they just knew G2 are going to A exec off of this, or that an A exec was eventually coming. But you can see the players going closely ramp. That means they knew.
Amanek shooting for his opening here. He just saw that CT in transition. Doesn't know if there's a rotate over. There isn't yet, but NBK, nicely done, man. Damage output into Amanek, denying him any real chance at throwing a wrench in the works. He will draw that bomb over and catching the first rotate, but there's a CT between the T's, and maybe that now compromises Alexi B. You may not know that Nexa's right behind him, but there's 8 seconds left, so if ever the plant's gonna happen, it is too late. Nexa looking to die before time expires or survive, but there are flanks upon flanks, and they're gonna come gunning for him. He will get out, but that's a 14th round for OG, 7 for G2. They are stagnant at the halfway point of their opposition. OG looking to close Mirage very quickly.
About 10K on 4 players at the top of the 22nd.
Damn.
He only be another 2 rounds. We'll have another full buy here for G2 as they kind of give it their all. But it's hard to figure out based on what we've seen what their win condition is. They've been stuffed at the mark on a ramp when they've gone for this A ramp execute. They've been aced in a default by Valda hanging out at mid window. And they didn't have success there trying to lurk out in the late round out of halls. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to want to do. That's the big question for me. But it's probably going to be some kind of Hail Mary play. I would maybe to take a stab at it, I would potentially try something new, like a cat split to B, something a bit faster in tempo, or go for a stronger mid default and see if you can get the kills there. Like if OG are feeling very confident, they'll probably peek them, and then see if you can win around that way. But at this point, they've got to win a number of rounds before they even feel confident about taking this all the way to the 30th. That's one way to wear
Advanced
headphones.
gamer. You see, that way the calls go. No, because if the calls go to your ear, it has to travel to your brain. But if it just goes right to the brain through the top of your head, it's like having 240 hertz, man. You're cutting the milliseconds out.
Yeah, but he's 7 and 16, so I feel like he's got a completely
Maybe that's why, bro. Guys, I don't know what's wrong.
Oh man.
They all look over like, yeah, you're getting cut. No, jokes aside. G2. Come on, boys.
Your
They've
friend,
got
how
something
dare
in
you.
them. Yeah. No, I don't count. If they don't let me count, then they get the cut. They're on the chopping block.
So
How you feeling, Mohan? You having fun?
I am. It's been I feel like it's cool. I mean, it's such a weird one because Mirage is a map where it's hard to be someone that you like your opponent hasn't seen before. But Alexibi just has this way of calling, right? Like I think when he, as an IGL, his presence is so felt in the server on any given map. Like I really do feel like the thing to take OG over the line is just a bit more protocols on their executions, make them nice and clean. Know exactly what they want to do when they get out of a site. But Alexibi's place on this team is very interesting, where he'll throw all kinds of lurk smokes on both sites. He'll be the entry man on B, he'll be the last guy to come out mid sometimes. So he's a hard person to deal with, and they haven't been able to figure that out. But it's really fun to watch OG because of that. You just never know what you're going to get. They're a box of chocolates, really.
I like that we had on their T side kind of such nice and tempered aggression. Really different gears coming out of them. Like nothing's looked stale from OG.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for G2, it's just been no solutions anywhere. No matter how many corners they turn. Even when we see like a glimpse of hope, like the biggest success of this second half has been walking up connector and planting bomb in a 5v5 essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, there is no other round for G2, and a lot of them haven't even been relatively close. So
now,
the kind of, tell that, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about, what their odds are of actually closing this out 2-0 with Nuke. Now, we're going to lean towards G2 for sure on Nuke, but OG have played it 13 times. They're a 46% win rate, and, G2 are marginally better, 57% win rate over 7 maps. And we look at the quality of opponents here for G2. They have got stomped by Astralis. They've narrowly beat Heroic in OT. They actually did destroy OG at Cologne on this map, so that's something that's a nice confidence win for them. And then conversely, if we look at OG in all of their recent matches, because they've had a lot, they also got destroyed by Heroic. They beat Mouse Sports on it, and it looks like they basically either get 16-3'd or win 16-14. That's kind of how I think that's the tail of the tape for OG on Nuke. So a bit of a toss-up, but they do have a number of wins.
Okay, well, Here we are back in Mirage. Thank you for painting the further picture. Launders presents to you reasons to stick around. And of course, there's always the chance at something fantastic in terms of a comeback. But I mean, let's just be honest with one another. Honesty is the key component of a good relationship. And between me and you, viewers, this is looking like an OG close. But in what fashion? Are G2 going to turn something around? We know that within the series we saw with Astralis, a first map loss doesn't always mean much. Kenny S. to get softened up by that frag grenade, tried to cheat a kill around the side of this smoke. Issa's going to look to do the exact same thing, but it fades. And Jax has his name. Now, we've got 4 flashes and a Molotov for G2 to try and get into this bomb site. Sure, there's smokes down on CT, but it just got body blocked. Now, what's up? Alexi's playing around the side of it. Mantu over top of it, and that is where he connects the op shot. That's going to now put Kenny S like 0 and 8 in terms of op duels or opening duels. And we have Volda.
Is that the real statistic?
Well, there was a 0 and 7 opening duels count for Kenny S during that tech pause. Elliot was pulling it up. Yeah, 0 and 7.
Bomb has been planted.
That's not the Kenny S we saw in Overpass just days ago.
Yeah. I don't think Kenny S knows which Kenny S he's going to see every day he wakes up. He wields
Looks in
so
the
much
mirror.
power, but at the same
Goes
time,
back
so
to
much
bed.
inconsistency.
Yeah, sure.
So that was a different round from G2. They tried to do it for the lurk up out A ramp with Kenny S. He takes a bit of damage, misses a shot, falls back, so it's fine. They reset. Hunter, starts throwing nades in window and then actually catches Alexi B pushing B halls, and then they go through the A exec, which, credit to G2, they don't move, even though Hunter gets his kill inside of B halls, so they don't get scared. They stay with almost 3 there. There's definitely a chance that OG could still win, but must feel good for G2 that they're able to, despite kind of a lean or a stack or whatever you want to call it, work their way into the A site.
Also, just to get a round that doesn't come by way of completely open bomb site. Like, this is the first actual heads-up, head-to-head round win for G2's T side. And they still have a little bit of wiggle room to keep this first map open. Now, they're going to crank the tempo here. We've got 2 players already down underpass. That could open Alexi's flank, and he doesn't actually have a player in window to help him. Being flashed at the top of middle definitely won't help, and Jax, nicely done, just lining it up through the smoke, catching him on the corner, and getting G2 an opening kill. Now, we just talked about Mantu coming out of the windows and back towards CT spawn. This allows G2 to just rampantly push through connector. Nexa will be challenged deep A ramp, but he's not going to expect that second player involved. No way. He now has him spotted, but loses half his health, predicts the peak with an excellent pre-fire, and that should be enough. You see the last 2 players from OG reeling from those kills, smoked off from the bomb site. G2 have done it. Consecutive round wins on this T side for the very first time.
Yeah, so the setups are starting to look a little bit more interesting. Harder to read here for G2, like how they're calling now. And, of course, they're punishing some of these aggressions that G2 are taking at the A ramp and focusing more on connector than anything else. So now it's going to be a real test of G2. It's at this point, G2, this is sometimes their games get a little bit longer than they need to. And we'll find out. This is where I think it's a test of the calling to say, how do we see one step further into the future to understand what G2 want to do next? And it's not going to be an easy task. It's hard to see what G2 will want to do, but we've seen a little bit of a consistent pattern here with the very slow rounds, lurks on A ramp, testing an individual on one site, and then moving into an exec. And I think that's been the real struggle here for OG to deal with. But the ideas of pushing are not so bad, of course. If Nex is there alone, ideally, you do get the kill. You retain A ramp control. Maybe you go 1-for-1 worst case. But then in G2, feel uncomfortable planting on the A site. But in that situation, Nexa plays it so well. He, as you mentioned, grabs that pre-fire kill on whoever it was pushing him, and suddenly the round's in jeopardy from all sorts of angles. So CT timeout called, probably an opportune moment to call one, as I imagine. Or they're just going to try to get a rifle in everybody's hands. I think if I was OG, I would think about trying to double push B apps since the rounds are a bit slower and there hasn't been anything towards B just yet. So if there is a lurker, grab that frag, overstack the A, and think about and worry about the connector lurks that may come from G2.
I like this from G2. Straight out the gate, just hold and wait. Doesn't really cost them too much map control. Nobody getting overly ambitious from OG either. So a bit of a stalemate here for the first 30 seconds, but now G2 have to get to work.
Yeah, they're just putting all their stock in Montu. They're hoping it's not a B exec, but if it is some kind of walkout, Montu will try to punish. For the meantime, they're going back to what works. And look at OG. I think this is the round that they were expecting.
Three guys on this A site for OG. You can see their attention kind of getting turned a bit towards Connector because Alexi B doesn't have it firmly in control. But if he gets that Kale versus Amanek, you know, there's that 1 versus 1 that can go down in middle.
Got another smoke, Issa.
He's gonna lay down the frag. Nice damage. Preemptively before the push. Issa, he's not in the corner, but he's so damn close. He's jumping. Oh, and he's gonna burn in the Molotov. Jax gets him on the fallback. NBK and Alexi B with the kill apiece. That's the middle frag going the way of the defense. A single player left underneath. 7 seconds. He just needs to deny the bomb. Valda gonna wait long enough until there's absolutely no chance. A 15th round and he's still fighting. Will die. But succulent patience from Valda. A setup that G2 just didn't have enough time to clear.
God, that was so wonderful. Of course, he's waiting just so that they can't pick up the bomb and plant again, even if they kill him. And it's the overstack towards A. They just read it. They saw G2.
Read it like
we're going to try to make it look a little different. Yeah, pretend that it's going to be a B hit. It's not. They let Montu op it, and yeah, they got the A hit that they wanted. Even with Issa dying, they had 2 more players dedicated in the site.
Whipped out the Dr. Seuss. Never had a chance, man. They thought they were reading all right. Oh, but Valda trying inside a connector. There's the 2K for him. Cleared out by Amanek. G2 moving quickly, but Issa in the corner. An unsuspected frag. However, man advantage taken back by Kenny. He can't manage that second kill. However, it's all on Nexa. He tries to catch Issa, but doesn't quite find him. So now these last 2 OG players are going to play it side by side with vision on bomb. Nexa's options far and few between. He's got the Molotov, he's got the flashbang. If he waits, oh, now it's doable. But he's going to anticipate Issa being at the base of connector when in reality he's already jumped up. I don't think he's going to realize that this is even possible. Nah, walks right into the hit of Issa, and just like that, OG closed. Sure, we had a sign of life from G2, but in the end, after that first half, it doesn't even matter.
Again, 4 rounds on the CT side to start things off. Not a single player dying from OG. A great game plan on the C side, even though it was a bit scrappy and some lackluster A executions to get them 9 rounds. Then a great start, and then, you know, huge ace from Valda, one of the best aces that I've seen in recent memory. And overall, just, man, OG played awesome. They played awesome on Mirage. Great game plan overall, and they closed it out pretty decidedly.
Again, you know, we saw him take it over Overpass. We were wondering whether it would net them a win, and I think it's safe to say a secure map in either direction. But we're going to have to move this series along. It's not over yet. Nuke comes up next, and before that, our analyst panel standing by.